guys, welcome back to an episode 12-inch figure Fanatic. Don't forget to subscribe. Got a lot more figures on pre-order coming up. This one, a little bit of a headache to get, I have to admit. So it seems like lately the China retailers on eBay are listing figures as just leading you to believe that they're presently available or explicitly saying in stock. And then after you place the order and give them your money, then you get a message and they're pretty much begging you to stay with them and understand that it's a pre-order item and be patient. And it's like, well, say it's a pre-order item, all right? You don't even have to tell me what quarter it's expected because I know that goes out the window anyway. But explicitly state that you're selling something you don't have. And it's just gotten out of control. It's the wild, wild west on eBay right now. Anyway, so that had happened to me when I placed the order for this figure. I thought I was getting it right away. No, sorry, stay with us, be patient. No, because there's other people on eBay that are selling it right now. So I got my money back after 4 back and forth messages and ended up finding somebody else on eBay that sold it to me on the spot, and I just got it today. So this is the Art Figures Scissorhands. Now we're going to put it side by side with another Edward Scissorhands figure that I've had for a while that has some modification to it, customization that, to improve the appearance. And we're going to see which one comes out on top. So let's crack this open. All right. So I'd have to say that as a kid, when I saw this movie in the theater, it was emotionally provoking for me, like the death of Vincent Price's character in the film, and just Edward's struggle through the entire film. I felt kind of alienated as a kid myself, and I identified with a lot that his character was going through. And like myself, he's an artist, and he was trying to find ways to be creative and use that creativity to connect to others, and just the challenges associated with that. Where it was touching film, especially the soundtrack. So the box is, very nice. It's sturdy. There's not any illustration of the figure itself. I don't know. I can't tell if that's a photograph or an illustration. If this is a photograph of the figure, I'm already impressed. But let's crack this open. So it's a magnetic closure, and it looks like I figured maybe the box top served as a background like a lot of the figures do, but no. This is just a fixed flap. So here's a picture of the figure, and there it is. Let's see. Okay, looks kind of delicate. Wow, there's a lot going on here. So right off the bat, the hair is sculpted, but it's so dimensional. It looks like, I've never seen this before, but it looks like even though it's made out of like a rubberized plastic, it looks like they did layering of it. So yeah, it's amazing. I think this is a good compromise, because if you had the stitched hair, you would have to get it just right to style it, and it might not retain that styling. But at least this way, it's to get this permanent appearance. And if anything, maybe it looks a little too young on the face, but the scarring, the details in the eyes, everything is just on point with this. You really have to see it in person. The video doesn't do it justice. Now look at this outstanding detailing in the clothing. It just feels like I got to handle this delicately, like it's gonna fall apart if I touch it too much. But there's just so much going on here, and right down to the metal rivets. It looks like, yep, they're all made out of metal, different colors. And then of course you got the detail in his hands. Oof, I could see how these might break. Yeah, and oh my gosh, so at least part of his hands are actually metal. So that's impressive by itself. So there's movement, there's dexterity,
Look at that. They're weathered. Yeah, look. Wow. So then this is attached, but it's made out of like a rubberized plastic. So there, yeah, you could tell there's some delicateness to this figure. So the material is sort of pleather, but it's got a unique texture to it. I think this might withstand time, unlike if you go back and look at my Terminator 2 review where the figure's just literally falling apart. The jacket's falling apart right in front of me. Oh, man. Yeah, what can you say about this figure? Okay, if I had to be critical here, the fact that all of this and all of this is also plastic, I think they could have incorporated some material there rather than having the whole thing molded. Not to say it doesn't look much cleaner this way, but yeah, and then, man, okay. I'm mesmerized. I'm just wasting way too much time staring at this figure, but let's see what else is inside here. Okay. Looks like a variety of straps. Good. I felt like there was some stuff that should be going around his waist because it looked a little too bare. So I think most of these, if not all of them, go around his waist. And the detailing there is just stupendous. Good quality there. After handling the figure, I can say I feel confident that it's not gonna, fall apart in my hands. So it looks like there's a few more figure fingertips that needed to be attached. So I'll do that. But even the parts that are plastic, like these are all plastic right here. Is that? Yeah, that's plastic. But it's got the appropriate weathering and shine to it that it looks like it's metal. Some extra pegs in case they break. And his stand is very nicely done. That's not going in there too easy. There we go. So one criticism, it just says Scissorhands. I would have preferred it said Edward Scissorhands, but that's fine. At least they got that down. But this is all raised sculpt, and it's all weathered nice. Very, very nice base. Okay, so let's put this figure together but get all those belts on and whatnot, and then I'm going to give you my final thoughts while doing a standby, a side-by-side with my other figure that I've had for quite some time now. All right, so here's the figure all set up. Now, 3 of these belts are supposed to go around his thigh, and at first I was like, well, I don't understand why they just didn't put them on like the rest of the stuff. And then it occurred to me that they're a pain in the ass to get on, and that's why probably. But it's a gorgeous figure, and here it is a side-by-side with my other one that I've had for a while. Now this one is a Hot Toys from a few years back, and it has a modded head sculpt with the actual hair. It hasn't been styled, so it's kind of a shamble, but notice the face is way off. So a lot more prominent in the scarring than this sculpt, but this one is definitely lacking. Also in the details. Now if you'll see here, the straps are all molded. It's probably a single piece, if not glued together. And then this, same thing here. All of this is all plastic. It's just kind of attached on, right? Versus here where you have a variety of materials, you have the detailing with the metal rivets, all of this right here. They took shortcuts throughout the entire figure in the original Hot Toys one. Also, if you look at the feet, there's a lot less detailing in the feet. It's more bland looking in the Hot Toys version. So, which one am I keeping? Obviously, I'm getting rid of the Hot Toys one. The hands are also overlarged. It's a little cartoonish looking, side by side of the hands. So it looks more like a Locutus of Borg from Star Trek than Edward. And the figure is also a little bit taller and a little bit thinner here. So keep that in mind too. Yeah, just outstanding figure. I'm gonna give this one on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm gonna give it a 9.7. The only points I'm docking are for the head sculpt looking a little too youthful. Yeah, maybe it needed a little bit more texturing. Maybe something's going on here where it looks like almost like a child. It needs to look a little bit older. Other than that, excellent figure.